right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wisconsin High School Esports Association Week 4. We got a pretty good matchup here today between Wausau West and Cedarburg. Both of these schools are pretty predominant so far in their time in the Wisconsin High School Esports Association. Cedarburg was our original undefeated team, and now Wausau West has taken the grasp on that ranking. So coming into today's game, both teams off to a pretty good start as before. Getting right into some of the bans here. So remember what patch that we're looking at here too, going to be a little bit different, but we're going to see that Wausau is going to go ahead and ban out Renekton, Ivern, and Lysandra. Believe it or not, Ivern has one of the highest win rates on the current patch. And then Cedarburg's going to go ahead and ban away Vlad, which Bales is pretty potent on. And then Karthus, which has been seeing a lot of play lately as well. And then they're going to go ahead and ban Kane away. Karthus jungle has been really popular lately in pro play. So it doesn't really surprise me that that one gets banned out right away. Wausau West is going to go ahead and first pick a Vayne. Pretty confident blind pick there. Cedarburg has an opportunity to try to play around it a little bit here. Vayne is currently just below Lucian for the top tier as far as ADCs go. So Cedarburg's going to go ahead and first pick a Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is down in a tier 3 as far as pick goes right now, as far as op.gg, which doesn't really mean a ton, but you know, take those into a little bit of consideration. So Cedarburg blind picking their mid is kind of interesting as well. Gonna go with the Lulu support, so which is kind of interesting because we're probably gonna try to see some sort of like hyper carry ADC, like a Twitch or Kog'Maw, which are gaining a lot of popularity right now in the current patch. It's going to be a pretty crit ADC friendly patch. And then Rise is coming in for Wausau West. So it'll be interesting to see how they go ahead and rotate their players. Not something that I've seen Bales play before, but they did ban out the Vlad, so who knows. Zach is a really good jungle pick. Within this team composition, you got the engage, and then you got the CC and the pullback. So the Ashe is going to come out with the Lulu support. That doesn't surprise me too much, but I'd be interested to see what Cedarburg elects to go against the Zach. Pretty common into that is going to go ahead and be like a Sejuani. Leona ban coming out. I like that ban. Especially with kind of a squishy bot lane there. Urgot ban coming out as well. He's a really popular top laner right now. Just because he's so tanky and he can dish the damage when he needs to. And the Morgana ban coming out as well here. So really targeting the support, not necessarily focusing the top lane, which is kind of interesting. And we'll see what Wausau West decides to ban out, and it's going to be Sejuani. So, let's see, what else could you play into a Zac that? I mean, you could play a burst, like a Kha'Zix or a Rengar, but I don't know if that really does much. You could maybe play like a Hecarim. You could play the Gragas into that as well. J4 I think would be the prime pick. Lockdown CC, I think that's a solid pick. And then we're going to see a Pyke support coming out. And Wausau West is going to go ahead and finish. Going to go ahead and finish out with a Braum. Could make sense for the Vayne with the CC, the slow. Oh, sorry. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, the Yasuo, I guess, does make a little bit more sense. So that could be Yasuo top. Could be Yasuo mid. Could see the Rise flex up top as well. Mundo would be an interesting pick into whatever they're playing top lane. But they're going to go ahead and go with the Maokai. So, pretty good CC on the side of Cedarburg there with the Maokai. It's got the slow, the snare, the root ultimate. You got the Ashe with the W slow, and then you have her ulti. You got the J4, which can lock you down, and the Cassiopeia can hit you with the glare too. So that's a pretty CC heavy team there. So it'll be interesting to see how Wausau West decides to go about this here. So this should be a pretty good matchup today. Some other games from around the league here. Go out to the website here, check the spring schedule. For week 4 in Division 1, we do also have Horlick playing Wilmot, J.I. Case versus Muskego, Milton against Waukesha West, Janesville against Waterford, Bayport against Arrowhead, and then Cedarburg and Wausau West finishing out Division 1. In Division 2, we have Elkhorn against Walden 3rd. That should be a pretty good one. I believe St. Catherine's is going to have to forfeit to Whitnall. Baraboo and Clinton had to reschedule because Baraboo has an ice day. Montello against Oconto, not a bad matchup. Two teams that are very familiar with each other. The Wisconsin Dells playing McFarland, and West Appear against Tosa. And I believe Tosa also had to forfeit today because they had 3 students not show up for their match. So that's a bit unfortunate, but unfortunately it does happen more often than I care to admit. But it is what it is. Take a quick look at the standings here for varsity. In Division 1 right now, J.I. Case is actually sitting at 3-0. Wausau West is at 2-0. Cedarburg hasn't got to play a game yet, or just hasn't reported match results. Janesville Craig hasn't had any match results reported either. Arrowhead is sitting at 1-0. Milton 1-1. Waterford 1-1. Bayport 0-2, but they've had a tough couple of initial games there. Horlick at 0-2, Muskego 0-2, Waukesha West 0-1, and Wilmot 0-1. In Division 2 here, West Appear is a perfect 3-0. McFarland sitting at 2-0. Baraboo 1-0. Clinton 1-1. Tosa 1-1. Whitnall 1-1. Oconto 0-2. And then Wisconsin Dells and Walden 3rd at 0-1. So Montello and Elkhorn have yet to record a result here as well. So hopefully those schools get their first win. You know, it's really unfortunate, but the state of Wisconsin decides, hey, we're going to have a lot of snow this year, and we're going to have a ton of cold days. So it's I know it's breaking records around the state. So that's it is what it is. You just got to roll with the punches sometimes. So as we're about to get underway here, some other cool things kind of happening around the state as we are looking, starting to get towards that state championship in April. Do have a potential couple sponsors interested in coming in, so that's pretty cool. Again, if you're interested, check out Game On in Fond du Lac. If you want to go, or if you have some friends that want to go, let me know. I have some coupons that I can send out your way so you can get a couple of free hours up there at Game On and really test out the facilities to make sure that they're going to be adequate for the state championship. Thanks Crypto for the biddies, bud. I imagine our audience is going to be a little slow today, seeing as how, you know, Nintendo Direct is going on right now. So that's kind of a big deal. So do like these new load screens. There is something too to where you can now click on these banners and you can actually see what their mastery points are. So if we take a kind of a look around here, you can see Hazy Boy here only has 208 points on Rise on probably this account. Vayne sitting at about 242,000. So somebody plays quite a bit of Vayne there. Just kind of one of the cool new features there. So now you don't necessarily have to use op.gg to see how good somebody is on a certain champion. One other cool thing, I suppose, not to toot my own horn or anything there, but I am going to Concordia University tomorrow in just north of Milwaukee. Drawing a blank on what the city actually is, but I'm going to be going to go give a guest lecture actually on esports at the university. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to go ahead and give that kind of presentation. If you've been watching any of the pro play too, or if you've been keeping up with patch notes, you'll know that the spell thief strategy has already been nerfed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch today's Korean League, the LCK, and notice how many players bring spell thief with them. At one point, I believe there was one game where there was 3 players on one team that all brought spell thief. It was pretty funny to watch, especially since some of them had such a big lead as well. Like it was actually quite ridiculous. All right, let's go ahead and get this all set up. Thanks, Riot. Looks like we got ourselves a disconnect here. Technology, it's so great when it works. All right, sounds like we got one back.
A summoner has reconnected.
All right, sounds like we're about to get back underway here. It does look like we are good to go here. So in a quick moment here, we should be getting the match started and underway. At the very least, you get to sit here and look at the penguin tipping the hat there. All right, here we go. So really looking at kind of the team compositions here, I would definitely give Cedarburg their bot lane is the one that really needs to win on this. If Cedarburg's going to have a really solid chance of making the win happen, it's going to have to be coming through the bot lane, right? Because, I mean, Maokai and J4, they're really good at CC, but there's not going to be a ton of damage coming out of there. I'm not sure what the win rate is for Cassiopeia into a Rise is, but either way, like with the CC coming down from Zac, mid's got to be really careful and play pretty passive. So I would imagine that Cassiopeia is going to be pushed up pretty early and often.
Minions have spawned.
Got a nice little dance party going here. What better way to start the game than with a little shenanigans? I do see Zac going to go ahead and start on the red side, while Maokai is going to go help J4 also on his red side there. And it's going to be Yasuo in the mid, and we're going to see Rise up top. So that's going to be an interesting play here. personally, I don't really like Rise in the top lane, especially against the tank, because all Maokai really needs to do is first buy, either get Merc Treads or start to build for the Abyssal Mask, and Rise is no longer doing any damage in the early game. And then all Maokai really needs to do beyond that is just go ahead and build tank, get that Sunfire Cape right away, maybe some Ninja Tabbies if you really want. But I mean, it's not much. And I think we're going to see J4 coming in quick here. Rise going to go ahead and get the snare. Here comes J4 with the knockup. Here comes that double snare that we talked about. And that's going to be first blood, I believe, going over to Cedarburg. Tower's going to go ahead and take it. And Rise just gives it up. And that's going to be first blood going over to Maokai. The assist with J4. Cassiopeia needs to be careful there in the mid, taking some damage down from Yasuo. Oh, then let me go ahead and make sure that I change this. So reflect. Oh, the flash came out just too late. Didn't respect the Yasuo. And we're going to see a little scuttle battle going down here. And it looks like J4 was able to smite it away and to secure that over for Cedarburg. Looking like the bot lane is relatively even right now. If you're playing up against a Pyke like this, you always got to use those minions as a wall. Don't get too greedy there. Ashe gets caught out a little bit there. Going to be able to throw down some damage, though, on Pyke. But he'll most likely be able to just regen that pretty quick there. So overall, CS is pretty even right now. Again, I would say that Yasuo probably has lane priority right now over Cassiopeia, just because of that kill advantage. I would give Maokai a relatively large advantage now up in the top lane. Going to be able to just take a lot of those shots here early and often. Do see a little bit of an exchange going down in the bot. But other than that, yeah, again, Maokai first back. Sitting at about 1,100 gold already, so that's enough to go ahead and get the first part of the Abyssal Mask, or if he really wanted to. Oh, could we see? No. Could easily then see to get what is it, the 720. Uh-oh. Lulu gets the kill on Vayne. Pyke gets the kill on Ashe. Oh, Lulu. Gonna go ahead and have to blow the flash, so I would say that's pretty worth. We're gonna see J4 coming into the bot side here. Zach coming in as well here. There's that CC chain now coming down from Pyke and from Zach, but J4 is just gonna be able to go ahead and walk away. Gonna see Pyke now back, and Pyke sitting at about 900 gold and a kill. And Maokai now sitting at almost 1,400 gold up there in the top lane with that nice 400 gold boost from the first kill, first blood of the game. Needs to be careful. Is going to take some damage here. Might have to blow flash. Does have it. And decides not to blow flash and to just kind of accept the fate there. Doesn't really surprise me. There wasn't exactly a minion wave there. In order to try to dodge. So not much you can do in that situation. You just have to kind of accept it there. Maokai is going to go ahead and back there. Is going to go ahead and looks like he's going to maybe go with the adaptive helm first. That's a pretty good possibility. I know it's really popular for any tank up in the top that's got going against a pretty heavy AP team. So does make sense. We do see Rise is going to back. Does have the tier completed. And does have enough to go ahead and get that first little AP item spike that'll be coming in. See Ashe and Lulu starting to roam a little bit here. I wonder if they're going to try to secure this scuttle. I can't really imagine that they're going to try to collapse on mid right away. But yes, it does look like they're trying to set up for this scuttle to come out. and basically protect it for their jungler to come on down. So see some pings coming out there from Wausau West, thinking that maybe they have gone for that early Infernal Drake, which is going to be one that both teams are going to want to fight over. Do you see Yasuo just pinging down that Cassiopeia? Good play by Ashe using the minion wall there to avoid the Pyke snare. We do see Bale starting to come down to the bot side here with Yasuo. Again, Pyke trying to get another snare, not able to get it. Pyke's going to go ahead and have to clear out this control ward. Again, to give more vision for Bales to come on down to the bot side. And hopefully get a gank off. It is pretty common for Wausau West to try to focus and to essentially try to feed Bales in the mid lane. I've seen it quite a bit so far this year, that they pretty much just rotate and wait for Bales to come down and collapse. We do see J4 coming down. Not quite level 6 yet, so we do see the ult coming down. We do see Cassiopeia coming down as well. So we see 4 in the bot, but they don't have a wave. They have a little bit of a wave, but it's not going to be enough in order to try to get some of those turret plates. Do see Yasuo coming down here as well, just sitting in the bush. And J4 is now 6, so this could be interesting. And we do see Zax here as well. So it looks like both teams are just going to go ahead and respect it. Both are going to go ahead and peel away. Zach's going to go ahead and remove this control ward here. Keep a little bit of vision for themselves inside the river. And we do see that Wausau West is almost up to a 1k gold lead already. The polymorph coming out on Vayne there. And I think Lulu's going to be going down here. And that's going to be the Pyke ulti coming down. But here we do see J4 coming in. Did that cancel his ult? Do see a nice turn down there in the bot lane. That was well played by J4 and Ashe. That's going to swing the bot lane now into a little bit of the... Ooh, that was a nice into the ultimate. And there is the root. Although Maokai doesn't do much damage, that turret sure does early game. That was a good play by Maokai on the top lane. See Yasuo starting to get quite a bit of a CS lead here in the mid. Looking at almost a 35 CS lead. J4 was trying to hold off on that blue buff for Cassiopeia, but... Sorry, Cassiopeia. I'm going to just struggle with my words here. Pyke is going to go ahead and get caught out. Otherwise, that was looking like a pretty easy gank there on Lulu. Mid just doing their best to avoid that. Does get caught up a little bit by the Yasuo, but does avoid the Pyke snare, which is a good thing, because otherwise that could have been a pretty hardy CC chain down there and could have been another kill going over to the mid. So we do see J4 is back down on the bot side. Again, Cedarburg's win condition is that bot lane. So, like I said, J4 is pretty much just going to stay down there to try to ensure... Uh-oh, J4 is going to go ahead and get caught out, and I think that's going to be the death, and that is... We do see the Ashe ulti coming out as well. The polymorph coming out, and the Pyke ultimate trying to land another one. Cedarburg just needs to pull back here. Respect the damage by Pyke there. And going to go ahead and give up the scuttle, and it's probably also going to be the Infernal Dragon going over to Wausau West. And that's going to be Wausau West bot lane sitting at... Well, the Pyke is 3-1, and the Vayne is 0-2-3. So I guess who's the real support here? Maokai does have completed the Spirit Visage in the top lane, so Ryze is really not going to be doing much damage to him. Maokai should have quite a bit of lane sustain then. Again, Cedarburg's got to find a way really to shut down the Yasuo in the mid as well. It's what I talk about every single time that I feel like I'm shoutcasting on Wausau West. You got to shut down mid. There's no other question to it. How you do that, I don't know. I'm just a little bronzed or silver top laner. So we do see Pikes coming in here again. Blows the flash. I think that was smart just because you don't want to give Pyke another kill. And had Pyke landed that snare, it definitely would have been another kill going over to the bot lane down there for Wausau West. And that's, at this point, that's one of the last things that you want to do. Yasuo sliding through. Cassiopeia is going to get knocked up by his ult. It's not going to be enough, but Bales is going to go ahead and flash in and secure the kill. And is going to get an even larger lead in the mid. Looking at the team composition, I think Maokai and even J4 probably going to want to go ahead and start rushing Randuin's and drop off that 20% crit damage because Yasuo is going to be doing nothing but crit damage. I imagine Vayne is also going to be going for a crit build given the current patch. And right now, if you're Maokai up in the top lane, really the only thing that Ryze is going to do in the top lane right now is potentially provide late game like transportation with his ultimate in order to really get a sneak attack ulti in there. Get that team fight, maybe get Pyke and Yasuo in the back line there real quick. Teleport behind while Zac and Vayne just frontline CC and engage. That would be my guess. If that's the intent of the draft, then that's an entirely different story. I could just be guessing, you know. See, Zach's going to go ahead and go in. Pyke is going to be there as well. J4 is in the back. Do you see an engage here? I don't know. Oh, that is going to be enough, but now we're going to see the Vayne go ahead and shut down the Ashe. And we're going to see a flash forward here. I don't think Lulu's got enough to get out. The Lulu ultimate comes down, but it is not enough. And that's going to be a double kill now going over to the Vayne. And the Pyke gets one as well. So Pyke sitting at 4-2-1 and the Vayne at 2-2-4. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle now at this point for for Cedarburg. It's going to be hard to get tanky enough. We do see Yasuo is going to go ahead and catch him out there. Comes the heal down. Had Yasuo landed that that tornado, that would have been the end of the mid laner again for Cedarburg. But is able to dodge. We do see Zac trying to come in from the back here. Cassiopeia just doing her best to stay alive at this point. It's going to be mid turret going down there. And Wausau West has extended their gold lead at 15 minutes to 5,000, which is a very large gold lead. And they're looking to go ahead and try to secure their second tower as well. Ashe trying to get there. Committing a little bit too much, but there comes the polymorph. And Pyke is just getting shredded. The heal comes down. Oof. If only Ashe had ult. It's going to be up in about 5 seconds too. So we do see Bales coming up to the top side now, trying to put a little pressure on this Maokai. Again, Maokai does have Ninja Tabby, so that is pretty helpful. There's the Ashe ulti. That Pyke ultimate coming out again, and I don't think, and it's going to be a double kill going over. J4 going to go ahead and get the shutdown, but J4, the kill is not going to be worth it because now Vayne is on a killing streak. And that's going to be the top turret going down as well. So that's going to be, in about 30 seconds here, it's going to be a 3-tower to none lead for Wausau West. Vayne sitting at about 2,500, same with Zac. So I imagine when both of these laners decide to back, it's going to be a pretty big boost in items. So Vayne some of the common builds that I've seen, they do go with a Rage Blade build. But if you're this far ahead, you have a couple of different items. If you really wanted to go with the attack speed and crit, could as well. Zach, you could probably just go tanky if you really wanted to and be perfectly fine. Yeah, Pike being a support down there, quote unquote, has a spirit visage and has 6 kills. That makes sense. Do see a little bit of a skirmish potentially coming out. Cedarburg doesn't want to give up 2 Infernals. Just really working for vision here on it. J4 almost does have ult up, which is going to be huge. Ash is going to try to bait him in here. Zach is right there waiting to get the engage. I think Cedarburg's just got to back off here and try to wait. Yasuo checking a little bit there. J4 getting poked. Vayne throwing down some poke. Both teams really want this Infernal, and I don't blame them. 2 Infernals, especially given the lead that Cedarburg has, it's going to be a tough climb there. But both teams just kind of sitting here, maybe waiting for Maokai to come down. Maokai doesn't have TP, so we do see Ryze is also down here, so Ryze could easily TP into the back lane. Again, both teams just clearing out each other's visions. It does look like Cedarburg is trying to wait. Blue team is able to go ahead and secure it. The J4 ultimate coming in. Here comes the Maokai root. I don't know if there's going to be enough damage. They do get the shutdown. This is a very good team fight. That's Zach just holding off as long as possible, trying to let Yasuo get away here. Ryze is able to go ahead and get a double kill on the backside here. Going to go ahead and flash in for it there. Yasuo trying to get it. Ryze able to get the triple kill, and I'm guessing Maokai is going to go down. Here comes the Ryze ultimate into the backline. Going to try to get the snare. There it is. Could that be the quad? It is going to be a quadra kill for Ryze, and that's going to be a big swing here. It's going to be pushed pretty far out of the way now for Cedarburg, especially with the top lane there for Wausau West sitting at 5-2 with that 1,000 gold bounty. Zach's 0-9. And Yasuo sitting at 3-0-3 with a 1,000 gold bounty as well. So it was looking like a really good team fight for Cedarburg. I thought it was going to come out in their favor, but Wausau West was just able to secure what they needed to. Yasuo right there, and it steals the red buff away. J4 getting caught out is going to go ahead and get CC'd. Get a little bit of burn there on the end. Pike and Vayne trying to clear out some of the vision down there, and they're looking to go ahead and get this tier 2 turret, and I don't know if there's going to be much that they can do. Ash and Cassiopeia trying to go ahead and clear these waves, but again, look at now Yasuo is split pushing up on the top. There's really no one on Cedarburg that has enough armor in order to deal with Yasuo. Well, the Pike's able to just poke away. The range on his poke is just a bit ridiculous. And there's really not much that you can do. Ryze now just almost able to just get one combo off and just drop down Lulu. Lulu's going to get caught out here. They don't know it yet, but it's her. Oh, Pike misses the ulti. Zach trying to get into the back line here. Lulu is going to go down. But we do see a little bit of an exchange here. We do see Maokai gets the shutdown on Vayne. But I think that's going to be it. They may get this Zach here. Zach's ulting away. And Wausau. Oh, the Maokai getting caught out. Here comes the Yasuo CC chain. Maokai just not able to get away. J4 trying to get some CC down here. Trying to get the shutdown there on Ryze. Doesn't get it, and Ryze is able to go ahead and heal way back up. You can feel that it was desperation hour, and Cedarburg was trying to make something happen, but that's going to be the first base turret going down here. Ash wants to really go, wants to try to get that 1,000 gold, but got to play it smart here because your inhib is open, and there's a wave pushing. It's amazing the spike, though, that Rise is able to get. Once he gets a couple kills under his belt and he gets that Morellicon finished, it's a game changer. So went from a Rise that was 1-2, laning against a Maokai, losing lane to a Maokai, basically. And now you're looking at a 7-2-2 Rise. Like, that's the swinging power of Rise. I mean, the Quadra kill definitely helps. We do see Pike going in here, gets polymorphed. Not much you can do for Lulu there. You're just way too squishy. Rise is going to ulti into the backline here, or at least bring Pike into the backline. J4 not going to be able to do anything. The Pike ulti missing there. And right now, Wausau West is on the front foot. I don't think there's going to be anything that Cedarburg is able to do. Wausau West is going to go ahead and secure this Baron uncontested. There's nothing that Cedarburg can do with J4 on the bench there for another 15 seconds. I would imagine that they're going to look to probably back here soon. Get another relatively large item spike. Vayne did finish the Rage Blade down there. Double check, yeah, Rage Blade. Rise has half of the Radovon's cap finished there. Yasuo now has completed Bloodthirster's IE and a static shiv. So, yeah, hello crit damage and hello life regen. Like, you're not going to be able to CC this Yasuo long enough that he doesn't just regain 30-40% of his health in one little combo. So Cedarburg's just trying to turtle at this point and just hold those defenses for as long as possible and hope that Wausau West make a little bit of a mistake. J-Force is able to get poked down through the wall there by Vayne. The polymorph's coming out. Yasuo's going to go ahead and open up the first inhib there. Not much Cedarburg can do at this point. Zach's getting into the back line there. And here comes the CC train. The Pike ulti coming down. Maokai going down. Vayne with a triple kill. Going for it. Doesn't get it. But Yasuo gets it. And I believe that's going to be very close to game. They do have a wave there for Wausau West. So they could be looking to push to end this. With how much regen and crit that Yasuo has, I do believe it's going to be game. J4 is up in 10, Lulu's up in 7. No damage coming up in 15 seconds, so I do believe Rise is just going to zone off any chance that Cedarburg has to try to get to save their Nexus. But hey, you know what? You got the kill, and that's all that matters right there. So, well played by Wausau, well played by Cedarburg. Wausau's just crushing it. So, GG to both teams. Maybe see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be available to stream a JV match tomorrow with the guest lecture. So, if I don't get to stream a game tomorrow, I will see you next week. I am hoping that one of these weeks, maybe I'll try Overwatch on Monday and see if there's any team that's interested in having their match streamed. So other than that, have a good night. See you next week.